Welcome to Business Talk, presented in collaboration with the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, from the heart of southeastern Ohio at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Our goals are simple: promote the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, as well as advocate local small business and their support organizations. More importantly, promote southeastern Ohio as a wonderful place to live, explore, and learn. There are many different ways you can find us. The University of Rio Grande Cable Access Channel 17, live online at blogtalkradio.com, and on YouTube if you are unable to catch our show live. Introducing our co-hosts, Jason Winters, Mike Thompson, Patrick Dingle. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey Jason, how are you doing?
Very good, Pat.
Just want to let you know that we have a special guest today, one of my favorites. He has been on radio and TV and all different kinds of Facebook and social media services. The man is just phenomenal. His picture is just about everywhere in the world.
So I listen to this individual probably 2 hours today, and I've got to listen to him for another half hour? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
So permit me to introduce David Diddle. David is the manager and owner of Sunny 93, WNTO.
How you doing, Pat?
Doing well. I know that your wife, Tina, and you have a morning show.
Yes.
In which it's listened to by probably
Millions.
Millions.
Well, maybe less.
At least the majority of the people that's at this table today.
Right. Other than Pat. Yeah.
But on the same token, it is a broadcast show that also goes on the internet.
Yes,
and
we do our feed over the internet, along with I try to tell people that we're an internet radio station that we broadcast locally. I think with radio and the changes in the media these days, a lot of stuff's going on the internet, so we're kind of switching things around a little.
I think you're very, very wise. Didn't you mention something about having someone from Texas listen to your?
Yes, we have had Texas. We've had people from NASA who tune us in. So it's great to get these people that'll listen outside the area, but it all goes down to advertising those. So.
Well, that is true. And one of the things that I think, let's see, you've had 16 years involved with the radio.
Long time.
And 7 years with Sunny 93?
Yes, we've owned Sunny for 7 years now. Yeah.
7 years. And you're on the Rise and Shine from 6 to 10 o'clock in the mornings.
Yeah, and then we put our different hats on and become
yes.
general manager and program managers.
And so you are quite familiar with the different ways in which radio can be a part of individuals' lives.
We still have a large part in individuals' lives. Yeah, we are still here for entertainment. The number one reason why radio is still around is we still entertain. And we're local. I think that's what the main draw to any TV station or radio station or even your newspapers would be local.
And so consequently you have a really good understanding what it takes to market and advertise and promote small businesses.
Well, I will say that my wife does most of the picking of the songs and the entertaining part of our business. I do the marketing and the sales and I try to make the radio station money, and she keeps the listeners. So, yeah, I've dealt a lot in local advertising.
So what you're saying is she's a talent?
She is.
Sharing?
Yeah, the joke is
clean now?
that when I started doing the morning show with her, I would walk in the studio and tell her the star's here and we can start now. And I'm nowhere near what Tina will ever be live on the air. But yeah, the marketing side's what intrigues me every day to come to work.
I still remember to the day when Ohio State University was doing freshwater shrimp, and she permitted us in one of her afternoon shows to come on and talk a little bit about freshwater shrimp, but we had to give her some freshwater shrimp.
You notice I didn't eat any of that, right? Yeah. If you had like freshwater, I don't know, hamburger, cheeseburgers, I probably would have went to town on that.
So you're not a shrimp person?
No, sir.
Huh.
No, sir. No shrimp.
These were good.
good that they're good. Yeah.
You know, in the marketing end, what do you mean by marketing? You know, if I'm a small business and you're banging on my door saying, I'm going to help you market, what?
Well, these days, business is tough anywhere. No matter if you're a small business in a small town or if you're a large corporation, the only difference is the bottom line is bigger on bigger companies. You've got a small company, you have to run that small company as if it is a big business. And one of the major parts of running a business is going to be marketing that business. And I think it's real tough for people to see what works these days. Your issue is not whether or not businesses want to market, but they don't have the money to waste in marketing. Now, the CEO of Coke said 50 cents of every dollar he spends is wasted. If he could figure out which 50 cents it is, he'd stop spending it. But he knows that he has to market. So what we have to do these days is we have to cut that waste in advertising as much as we possibly can, because the bottom line's not there like it used to be in 2008. These businesses were doing a lot better than what they are these days. So you don't have the opportunity to make a mistake these days with small business, where before you might have had a few months there that, oh, we tried this and it didn't work. Now you're looking at, I've got weeks at this point that this marketing has to work, or I've got to go to something else. So when you're talking local and small business, which, let's be honest, most of the business that runs any town is going to be small business. How important is small business to a small town? Extremely important. Take those jobs away, or take those businesses away, and watch your town go away. So I think what we try to do at Sunny 93 is not only advertise with us, but we look at your full marketing and what are you doing as a company to market your company and help you along the way with all forms of marketing, not just radio advertising. I've not yet met a company that should only do advertising on radio. Now, personally, I'd like for them to spend all their money with me. But let's be honest, you've got to reach as many people as you can in all these different ways. And that's really what we try to do, is be your marketing partner in everything that you're doing in marketing.
Dave, you made the comment, you know, if someone needs a couple weeks to get their marketing going. Isn't that kind of a misnomer? Marketing is not a short-term venture. Marketing is a long-term perspective.
I agree. And I think that if you can do it, and there is a right way to do this. Us three up here understand marketing pretty well, but we haven't changed it. There's nothing really big and different that we're doing today that they didn't do in the 60s. There is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. And when I say a couple weeks, what I mean is if you are doing the right thing, you're going to see somewhat of a response within the first few weeks. It's not going to be great, but you're going to see some kind of a response. They can't put an enormous amount of money into marketing like they used to. Now, the right way to do it is, let's say 7% of your gross income. You spend 7% of your gross income and you spend it at the right places, you're going to get a return on your investment. The issue is we're in small town USA.
Sure, where the budget is anywhere from $100 to $300 a month.
Right. Well, yeah, I run into a lot of companies that have a budget of $100 to $300 a month, and I look at them and tell them, well, this is what you're going to make off your marketing budget. You're actually budgeting yourself out of business if you don't watch what you do. I haven't ran into too many businesses that can't. I've never seen a business go out of business because they said they spent too much in marketing. Never. In 16 years, I've never had anybody come up to me and say, I wish I didn't spend that much money in marketing. Because if you're marketing and you're doing it right, you will get at least a 2-time return. Banks can't give you that. Nobody can give you a 2-time return on your marketing. The issue is, how are you marketing? And are you really marketing? There's a lot, that $100 and $300 mark. When you talk to them, they're donating. They're not marketing.
Yes.
How did you market that? Well, the high school came to me and wanted me in their book
Right.
There's
yearbooks, announcements, those kind of things. Yeah.
okay.
And you
And
really
I'm not
have
saying
to,
don't do that, by
Right.
the
Those
way.
are
I
good
don't
for
want
the
phone calls here
Right,
going,
right.
we're
No,
a high
you
school.
really should.
You should do that.
Yeah.
But there are
Yeah.
two different parts of your budget. One is got to be donations because you're going to donate that. That is not a marketing campaign. When you start a true marketing campaign, and I run into people all the time who say, how do you track marketing? There's your biggest issue in marketing these days. How do you track marketing? And I run into a lot of people who say, well, what I want you to do, Dave, is I want you to run these advertising. I want you to say, if you heard it on Sunny 93, do this. Well, what you're doing is you're asking people to jump through hoops in order to do business with you. And they don't do it. There'll be a small percentage. You look at your full marketing campaign, and it all should have the same message. And at the end of the year, like you were saying, it should be at the end of the year, where you were last year and where you are this year, and what your increase is, and the only thing you changed is marketing, you should get your increase. Now, in these bad times, everybody's talking about how bad it is now, right? And I also have said that business is not like it used to be. No, it isn't dire need. We still have businesses doing business. I have businesses that have been up for the last 3 years. Most of the businesses that I deal with have been up the last 3 years. Not huge increases, but double digits.
Right.
If you do the marketing right, and what I tell people when I talk to them, you don't have to do marketing with me. I appreciate it when you do, but you don't have to do it with me, but you have to market your product. And it starts in your store, it starts while you're in the public, and it starts wherever you decide to spend your marketing dollars. And then you keep that consistent message. And you just, how many times you say it, what you say and how many times you say it. You want the 101 in marketing? It's what you say and how many times you say it.
But doesn't it go back even further than that for the business itself to identify who its customer is?
Oh, that.
Why, everyone is your customer.
Well,
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
everyone's
that's all
not.
I ever hear.
That's right.
One of the first
Yeah.
questions, one of the first things that I do when I sit down with a business owner is I ask them, first of all, tell me a little bit about your business, because if you have a marketing person walking into your business and they come in with this piece of paper that says you're going to get, I don't care if it's TV, radio, newspaper, you're going to get this for this amount of money, sign right here. They're not doing marketing.
They're doing sales.
Yeah, they're doing sales. and they're not even selling, they're order takers.
Right.
They need to know, I need to know about your business. Like I said, what you say, how many times you say it. What you say is extremely important. And how do I know what to say if I know nothing about your business? If I just walk in and go, we're going to do a who, what, when, and where. We're going to put it on the air and we're going to see what it does. I think it's one of the biggest mistakes that marketing people make these days.
Right.
If you can get to know their business, and they need to know their business, I don't know it. They know. I run into an enormous amount of business owners who are fantastic at what they do. I don't know anything about their business. I can't run their business. I don't know about it. But the knowledge of marketing's not there. So what we try to do is try to work with them, kind of guide them along a little bit to show them how marketing works. That's our job. And then they start to learn how marketing goes. And you wouldn't believe the change in the thinking of business owners once they get this concept of, this weird concept of marketing their business. Their thinking and how they run their business is a lot different after that too. And what they do in the public is completely different. So yeah, you got to know about that business, and then you ask them, number one question, where do you need help? If your marketing person that you're dealing with doesn't know where the problem is, how are they ever going to fix a problem they don't know exists?
Right.
I don't care what business you are. If you're sitting down to talk to me, there probably is a place in your business that needs help. Mm-hmm. Tell me where that is, and we'll do our marketing to grow that part of your business.
And I think one of the first problems is really understanding who your customers really are.
Oh, if every time, I want to reach everybody. I want to reach everybody. I need everybody. And I understand that. I understand that you don't want to, what you're saying is I'm not going to turn away a customer, and I understand that.
Right.
But you're selling a product. And pick any product, and I could probably tell you the demographic of that product. And once you get to know who your core customer is, then you start marketing to that customer.
Because it's about money. I mean, if you've got X amount of dollars, you want to make sure that that X amount of dollars is spent reaching those individuals that are most likely to buy your product. Not the handful that are here or the handful that are here, but those specific individuals. And a lot of that gets back to the different type of media outlets, too.
There are different than radio?
That
No,
is,
just kidding.
you know, one of the big problems, I'd really like for you to talk about this, one of the big problems that a lot of students come in, you know, I have this idea for a business, you know, and I'm trying to come up with a marketing plan, and I've developed this marketing plan, but I really don't know how to reach these customers. Where are the demographics in these different audiences? Who listens to radio now? In what format do they listen to radio? How many are reading a newspaper? How many are looking at billboards?
Okay, we'll take each one. Radio, I know pretty well.
Absolutely.
Radio is different depending on what music they play.
Right.
Everybody thinks that...
You've got my family split. We talked about that earlier.
Right. Everybody thinks that because Tina and I own a station that we absolutely love 80s music. Now, the funny part is I do love 80s music. But, and Tina loves new music. I mean, a lot of new music.
Yeah,
Tina
she
loves.
does.
And we looked, when we started the station, at demographics. First thing we looked at. If you have a business, you have to look at the demographics who will buy that product. And then you look to see who lives around you. And make sure you have enough of those people that buy that product in your area that's going to buy that product. But radio, us, 25 to 54, primarily female. Main reason. I have guys that call me. You just made a comment about one of the groups. Who was it that?
Queen.
No, the one that you said you would turn it if you heard.
Oh, Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Let's be
Not
honest.
my era.
Not your era, but also not Bruno Mars is not a male singer. I mean, he is, but he reaches females.
Yeah.
So 25 to 54. Find a 25 to 54 female that doesn't like Bruno Mars. So there's the reason why we play Bruno Mars. Guys, we don't buy a lot of stuff. We don't purchase a lot of stuff. Usually if we do purchase something, females have a big say-so these days. No matter what product it is, they have...
If your household's stable anyway.
If your house... Yeah. That's
We
a
won't go
whole
there.
different... But normally, your wife, if I want to go out and buy golf clubs,
Honey, is it all right?
you're going to go and say, listen, I want $1,000 to buy golf clubs. And then you're going to look at a reaction and see how much it's worth to you to buy these $1,000 golf clubs. And when we started the station, 25 to 54, what I like about that is 2.3 kids, white picket fence. They don't typically save a lot of money during that time because most of their money is going to groceries, kids, and there is an enormous amount of local business that go after that demographic. So when we built the station, I said, this is what I want. This is started with the demographic. What's the best music to reach this demographic? 80s, 90s, and now. 80% 80s. We're the only radio station in the market that does 80% 80s. We made it. We didn't wait for somebody else to do it. We just decided to do it. So you can reach with country. Country has that 25 to 54. It's usually a lot wider scale. One of the issues that I have with country music right now is how many country stations there are in the market.
Right.
Good and bad, there are an enormous amount of country listeners. It really is the #1 format in radio is country. With it being the #1 format in radio, you have a lot of radio stations playing country music. I can make advertising work on any station, and you can make advertising work on country station. I'm not saying don't do it. You just have to do it a little different than what you do it with us.
So what area are you talking about that has 7 different radio stations?
Makes.
For
ours. But you look in any small town, really, I mean, there are more per capita country stations than there are any other radio stations out there.
So it would be like in a 50-mile radius, would you say, or 25?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, with us, probably, 50,
Okay.
75 mile. Just, we deal with local businesses. Local businesses draw from how far? How far does a typical local business draw from?
In our rural area, 35 miles, I would say.
So we're worried about that, but
Okay.
we have to worry about 3 different communities at that 35-mile-an-hour radius circle. So when you start a new business and you say, where do I put my marketing money? I have, hopefully, $1,000 a month I can put into marketing. Because at $1,000 a month, hopefully you'll do about $180,000 to $200,000 in sales that year. That's a pretty small business. Mm-hmm. That's probably where you're going to start. So if you could do $1,000 a month, now the big issue of small towns is, where do I put this? You know, we have one newspaper readership is typically older. Now, more grandparents these days are raising kids. It changed, that demographic has changed a lot. You have a lot of grandparents who are raising kids. So you're 25 to 54 with kids. Now you've got a percentage of grandparents raising kids, probably a lot larger than what most people know. 60 plus for newspapers. How you market in a newspaper is different than how you market on a radio station. How you write the ad in a newspaper is different. Then you look at billboards and you go, okay, now I've got billboards. I love billboards. Now you got different kinds of billboards now. You've got those that have 2 that flip, and then you have these electronic billboards that you have like 6 seconds on, and then it flips to the next one. And so, or a regular billboard. What do I put on it? Well, it's big, so I'm going to put a lot on there.
And nobody can read it.
You got the average, the most is 8 seconds. You ever try to read something in 8 seconds?
Well, you also got the issue of how many people actually look away from the road.
That are driving.
Yes.
Yeah. I've had, and I, like I said before, I like to dig into not just radio, but my clients also do other forms of medium.
Right.
So I watch that and see what's working really well. The billboards, not really a 2-time return at this point, and I think they can be. I think maybe some mistakes were made putting these billboards up and what they were said. 8 words, no more than 8 words, please.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
No more than 8 words. And pictures are great.
Yes.
And I'm not saying shocking pictures, but make it a picture that is going to turn somebody's head. I mean, if you're a restaurant, put a beautiful burger up there or something that's going to turn somebody's head.
Dave, I have a question. Like all of us, when we are watching TV or we're listening to the radio or we're doing a variety of different things, advertisement is an important element of that radio and that TV, those other medias, etc. But when a TV or a radio station does 5 minutes of advertisement,
Yeah.
how can people really remember that? I mean, what's the purpose of that?
It is listener fatigue is what you're talking about.
Oh.
You have 3 seconds in radio to catch somebody's attention for a commercial. Every commercial that runs is not going to catch everybody's attention. And you're not going to get everybody who listens to my station to respond to that advertising. What I like to do is I like to draw a big bullseye. And I tell people, here in the center of that bullseye, I believe that there's a certain amount of people today going to buy your product. Not necessarily from you, but your product. Pick any business. There's going to be that many people today that are out looking or needing that product. So when that commercial runs, it's our job to inform them that your business has that product and can take care of you. You're only going to get that certain small amount of people that's going to buy that product that day. Now, why do we do it consistently is a question. That changes daily, by the way.
Top of mind.
Top of mind. You should be at least the top 3 companies that people think of. If I say pizza, you should have 3 that pop in the top of your mind real quick. Mm-hmm. We've dealt a little deeper into this top of mind stuff, as in you can actually break this down a lot more. Say you have a pizza place, and if I say cheap, pizza.
There's some that popped to mind.
Yeah. And then if I say family pizza,
There's others.
and if I say, funny thing is, these guys got together, they came out of college and they figured this out, this is years ago, they figured this out and they said, you know what, this is pizza. It's a food, it should taste good. Nobody's talking about toppings. The taste of the pizza. Well, they started Papa John's. And that's how Papa John's does their advertising is toppings,
Right.
best toppings. So, yes, it goes a lot deeper. This top of mind thing goes a lot deeper than just the top three that you would think of, or the, you really have to figure out, like you said, exactly who your customer is and what they're going to go after. Yeah.
But there's nothing like a good commercial. I mean, if I say puppies and Clydesdales, doesn't your mouth start to water?
Yeah, yeah. I think marketing is so much fun. The reason why I think it's fun is because you can have a lot of fun with marketing, and you can put the great commercial together. And I tell people that I deal with on a daily basis, if I was that good, I'd be making millions with Budweiser. So I don't work for a big company, so they don't pay me big bucks to do this, but locally I'm expected to be that good because they don't have the multi-million-dollar budget either. So marketing's fun. I mean,
Well, you come up with a few cute ads.
well, we have fun with it.
Yeah.
And I know that we don't have a whole lot of time, and what you say is very important. What I tell people is what you say and how many times you say it, it's up to you. I don't tell you. I mean, I can tell you what you can expect out of the money that you spend with me or that you spend in your marketing budget. But what you say is very important to me. And we go very deep into how we write these commercials. One of the questions I'll ask is, what's the real reason why somebody buys your product? You've got a product, give me the real reason. Well, I had a guy that sold mattresses, and he said, he said the coil count and all this other stuff, and I said, well, no, that's how you sell it. We're going to change that. Why do people buy a new mattress? And he told me because they roll to the middle.
Huh.
So I'm not going to do the commercial, but we wrote a very cute commercial about that.
You did.
And he sold an enormous amount of mattresses because of that commercial. It's fun. You don't always hit it, and you got to have fun with it. But you know, it's your business. Have fun with it.
Dave, we only have a couple more minutes, and you got to come back and tell us some amusing stories because we're just running out of time.
Okay.
But anything you'd like to leave the listening audience with, you know, in regards to marketing and advertisement and why it's important to consider your radio station?
Well, yeah, because we're the best. No.
Maybe you are.
I think, even more than considering my station, I love to see businesses prosper. And I love to start with a business and watch it grow, and not only with our station. If we're part of that circle, great. And typically, when we get involved, that business does fairly well. More than that, I want people who own businesses to kind of wake up. You get in this little circle of, this is how I'm going to run my business, and this is how it's going to go. Wake up and do some marketing, and do it right. And when you do it right, you'll get the response, you'll get the return on investment. And when you do that, life is so much better. Right now, you've got a lot of stress in business. All of us that own a business understand that. What I try to do is take some of that stress away, make life a little better. Marketing can help you do that.
Can marketing put 26 or 36 hours in a day for me?
No, actually,
That's
if
really
your
what I
business
need.
does well enough, you can hire people to do what you do.
Okay, is that what it
So,
is?
yeah, I've done that a lot, where the business owner finally goes, you know what, I'm doing pretty good. I can step away a little bit and hire people to do some of these jobs instead of me doing all of the jobs. So, yeah, it can.
Dave, how can people get in touch with you?
740-446-3543.
740.
Oh, you're in radio. You know that was way too
I
fast.
know. Sunny93.net.
There you go.
Sunny93.net.
You can find us on Facebook. You can call us.
Yeah, you have a big Facebook page.
We have.
So-
We do a lot with Facebook.
I do a lot of games on Facebook, and you can win prizes on Facebook. And
We've also put about $20,000 in marketing behind it too.
Yes, you have.
That helps tremendously. So,
Dave, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate
hope
it.
to see you very, very soon.
Okay.
Stay tuned to our 2 o'clock show with Valerie and Mike. I'm Patrick.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Dave Diddle.